that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, another special Kickstarter review. And today I'm very excited to be checking out Intervention from Weekend Warrior LLC. This is for 4 to 12 players, ages 18 and up. It'll take about 30 minutes to play. And in Intervention, you will be voting on who in your group is the most likely to do or be something based on the cards you're going to be reading. What? Sound intriguing? It's a party game. Let's open up and see how it works.
Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Intervention. Now, I always like to mention this is the promotional copy I have in front of me. The copy that gets to you is going to look different. Obviously, it's going to look much nicer than the one that I have right here. There's going to be more cards, more and better. So first and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule sheet. It is one page, single-sided, and in all honesty, this side is all different variants you can play with. So all you need to know is right here. And this is a party game, which is good that it has short rules, I personally believe. And honestly, once you know what you're doing, you can probably have this game out and be ready to play in about 2 minutes or less, which is a really good thing in a party game. So next, we're going to go over the gameplay, then we'll go over the components. So first and foremost, in this game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to get the most points by guessing what people think of you based on these cards over here. Makes sense? Not quite. We'll go over the components, then we'll get into the gameplay, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll go into the components very briefly. First, everyone's going to have a number in front of them. This is going to represent their number in the game because other people are going to be voting on who they think is the most likely to fit the description on the card. So you're also going to have this little voter sheet right here, which will go numbers 1 through 12 because there are 12 players in the game. Or it can play up to 12 players, I should say. Also, you can vote for yourself. Let's get that out of the way real quick. Next, you're going to have these 3 cards right here, which will say some, none, or most. Because in addition to voting for other people who you think fit the description on this card, you're also going to be predicting what you think everyone else is going to vote based on you, if you fit that description right there. So if you think most people think that you're the person that fits the description on this card, you'd play down the most. And if you get that correct, that you have the most votes or are tied for the most votes, then you're going to gain 3 points of the 21 points that you need. If you think that no one is going to associate you with this card, then you might put the none down. And if you get that correct, you will also gain 3 points. Last but not least, if you think that some people might vote for you, but definitely not most people, so that means that you're going to have less. That essentially means you're going to have at least 1 vote, but not the most votes. And you get that correct, you're going to get 1 point. So going some is the safe route, but you're only going to get 1 point at a time. So let's get into how the gameplay works, and then this will make a lot more sense. Before we do that, though, I want to go over some of the cards you're going to see on this, because some of them are a little bit taboo. They might hurt some feelings, and I just want to show you guys what you're going to get. These are some of the quote-unquote worst cards you're going to see in the game. Granted, none of them are Cards Against Humanity or Help Wanted Bad or anything like that. So who is most likely to leak photos of their ex on a revenge porn website? You are all stranded on a deserted island together. Who is the first person to eat someone else? Who's most likely to use a racial slur tonight? Who's most likely to require a few extra wipes of toilet paper right now? So essentially, you're going to see some cards that very well may hurt some people's feelings. So let's get into the gameplay, though. What's going to happen is you're going to take turns going around the table, and each person's going to take a turn being a reader. So the reader, what they're going to do is they're going to pick out the top 2 black cards here and pick which one they want to read off, and then discard the second one. So we'll say, you know what, we will discard that card, and we're going to read this card, and they're going to read it out loud and then put it in the middle of the table. So who is most likely to leak photos of their ex on a revenge porn website? You put it right there. Now everyone's going to look at their cards and say, maybe him. No, maybe him. Oh, yeah, definitely him. I remember in high school, he did this. And you're going to say that, you're not actually going to be saying that out loud. You're just going to be thinking in your brain, which is somewhere up there. And then you're going to secretly put this down. Now, you're going to think about what everyone else is going to vote for. So if you think that some people are going to pick you to do this, you might put down some. Or you think that most people are going to do it because you've actually done it before, then you would put down most. Or if you're a virgin who's never had a boyfriend or girlfriend, you might put down none, and you think pretty safe in that. So then everyone is going to reveal at the same time time what they have, and then you're going to tabulate up the votes, and you're going to see if you were correct on your guess, and everyone is going to get the corresponding amount of points. And then this is going to move to the person on the left. They're going to read one of the two cards they pick. You're going to rinse, wash, and repeat until someone gets up to 21 points, or whatever amount of points you play to, and that in a nutshell is how the base game of Intervention is played.
Alright then, Intervention from Weekend Warriors LLC. One of my final thoughts. Let's go to the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. The obvious one is that this is a party game. So if you're not in the market for a party game, well then get out of here. Also, if you have people who you play with who would have thin skin, who have their feelings easily hurt, you might not want to play them, because there are some cards that will hurt some people's feelings. Now granted, they have the one where you can pick one of two cards and then read that card. But, you know, still, if you have people who have thin skin, I don't know why you're playing with them anyway. But that's a completely different topic. Last but not least, if you're looking for a game with strategy, this one is not going to be for you because there is next to no strategy. Sure, you know, if you pick yourself, you obviously want to pick some or most or all that kind of stuff. But the game itself is very, very thin here. This is definitely more of a social experience and less so of a game, I would say. But that's not a bad thing. Moving on to the pros, I really enjoyed Intervention. My group of friends really enjoyed Intervention, and these were not my gaming friends. I brought it out to a typical party to see what people thought, and they really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a pretty close-knit group. It was a fantasy football kind of thing, and everybody liked it an awful lot. You know, nobody had any hurt feelings or anything like that because we were close enough that we could make fun and say, ha-ha, because you smell like poop sometimes because you work out or something like that. That sort of thing. Laughs were had, drinks were drunk. Eventually the points were just thrown out the door and we were just reading off cards and voting for people and checking out the alternate variants, which I highly recommend checking out those and figuring out which one your group of friends is going to like. We personally like the one where you got voted for and then you have to say, no, it was him because he had this, he used to do this or this. And it really is a great social fun experience for a good group of friends to get together, have some fun, have some drinks, play some games. I liked it an awful lot. If this looks like it might be your cup of tea, definitely be sure to click on the Kickstarter link below. Tell them Bowers Game Corner sent you for Intervention, a real fun party game. I liked it an awful lot. Also, in the comments below, let me know what is your favorite party game, because I love party games. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was the review for Intervention. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bowers Game Corner. Yep, that one's me.